this video with Nerdstomper.com. This is going to be the second video in a two-part series on Hellbringer, and it's going to be the mid to late game, commented play. The first video was the first half of this game, and the general guide can be found on the forums. It's got the item build, skill build, what you should generally be doing, tips and tricks, cool things like that. So be sure to check that out. If you have any questions or comments, it's also the place to go. And also, if you have anything you just want to ask about, talk about HON, anything like that, we have a wonderful community, and I also check the forums, so I'll be happy to answer anything or any questions you have. Anyway, on to the video. So, at this moment, a gladiator has run into the side shop, and I want to kill him, along with our puppet master. Unfortunately, they have a tower right here, so we're expecting that they will have some backup, and our allies look like they're going to be a little late. They haven't even teleported yet, so let's see what happens. So basically we chase this gladiator, we see he ran in there. An error that I made here is a kind of, what was screen shaking? I'm going to stop that. Anyway, an error that I made here is that I waited a little bit long to use my ultimate. I should have ultimated as soon as I saw he was running to the trees. This gave me, I ulted like maybe half a second too late, which gives me less time to cast all my spells on him before his allies fall onto me. Also, our allies are kind of late to TP. Our sniper, or Flint, is on the ball, but Myrmidon still hasn't teleported yet, which is kind of bad. Anyway, so I ultimate, and then I cast all my spells on him, and I immediately get jumped on by his team. Their team was very, very quick to react to this gank on him, so unfortunately our team was not quite as fast. Our Myrmidon is now just started his teleport, and our Flint is just arriving, whereas their team arrived at this tower long ago. So that's kind of bad for our team, but anyway, I made a bit of a mistake here over committing to the woods. I should have ultimated and then run south to this area. That way their team would have a worse of an angle to get to me, and my allies would have less room to run to reinforce me. Instead I just went straight to him, which was a little wrong. Anyway, let's see what happens. So because I life avoided the main target, I only get almost a full heal off. Unfortunately, still I'm probably going to die since their whole team's on me. I do get all my spells up before I die. And now all there's left is just the micro-mite creeps. Yeah, like Malphus. My puzzle boxes died kind of instantly, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Basically, if these two reinforcements had shown up anywhere reasonably close to their reinforcements, my life would have done a lot more. But unfortunately it didn't happen. And I guess the main concepts there are, when your allies are being slow, you need to be a lot more careful when you're going for ganks. So there, obviously, after I ultimated, I should have run into the woods to the south instead of just going straight to him. Another key concept is make sure you, first of all, remember that your ultimate can break trees. Oftentimes when enemy heroes run into the fog, ultimating will completely crush them since they've just cleared out all of the cover that they thought they were going to have. But when you're deciding that you're going to ultimate to do that, you need to do it ASAP, because you're not too worried about your Malphus running out of time before the fight ends. Malphus is almost always alive at the end of the fight because he lasts so long. Basically what you should do is ult ASAP, and then position yourself properly, which are two things I didn't do there that you should do for yourself. Also remember to cast all your spells, but that's pretty basic. Just cast everything on where the most enemy heroes are. I don't think my team's going to pick up too many kills here. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to do anything. Anyway, that's that action clip, and on to the next one. Alright, so here's the next action clip. All 5 of them are around this area, which we know about. We know they're there. And we were recently trying to go for a push on their tower. So, let's see what happens. I believe our foot... So while I was going to farm neutrals, our foot kind of gets caught out of position. The reason I was farming neutrals is because we were pushing. And if you're pushing, then this creep wave has to die before I need to be like with my team, generally. So I thought I had time to farm the neutrals, but as it is, I did not. So be sure to be ready to counter initiate against teams like Pharaoh and Dr. Repulsor, which I should have been doing. But anyway, I immediately noticed that, and I'm silenced anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much that I'm not there. So watch how I play the team fight. Hellbringer's there's a lot of team fights involved with Hellbringer in the late game. Basically all you really do is team fight and farm. You're not really going for ganks after like the 25-minute mark because it's hard to catch enemies alone, especially far away from a tower. So anyway, watch how the team fight goes. So I ultimate as soon as possible, right after the Vindicator ultimate ends, and I just make sure to cast it basically anywhere. Cast it like on top of a hero, and the area of effect is just so big that it hit a lot of people. So that's that. Now an important thing to do, always when you're playing, like when you're playing anything, generally you just want to hit the people that are diving your team. So this Dr. Repulsor is diving my Flint, so I want to focus him. So I'm hopefully going to do that. Unfortunately my hero kind of lost targeting, so now my hero's like not listening to me when I tell it to attack. Doesn't make too big a difference, I think, since Flint was probably dead anyway. I finished off Doctor. My hero's still not moving, I don't know why. I guess the most likely explanation is that I was controlling my units instead of my hero. So an easy way to avoid this, which I wasn't aware of yet when I was playing this game, is basically you want to hotkey your summons, all of them, to one hotkey, and have your hero just use F1 to control your hero. So that way you're always going to issue 2 commands and you don't have to worry about selecting one, like not all of your units, since you're just using a keyboard for that instead of your mouse. So that's what you should do. I believe I was not implementing that for this game, which is why poor micro there. So hopefully when you play you will not run into similar problems. Anyway, so key concept there is just cast your ultimate as soon as you can, and also hit the people that are diving your allies, not chase people who are like far away from you. Anyway, after this stun on Vindicator, I don't think we can actually finish him off. Yeah, we don't finish him off, but we can now push the tower. Mouse is really good at pushing towers, and also they're all out of mana because of my puzzle box. This Gladiator was really far up. Again, poor micro with the Malphus since I'm not really hitting him. Just make sure you hotkey it. I didn't know about that you could hotkey, or I knew that you could hotkey, I just wasn't implementing it into my gameplay. There's always hotkey your summons so you can hit, so you can micro them better. Here, if Malphus was hitting him, we'd get a lot more damage, and I don't think we'd kill him, but it'd be a lot of damage. Anyway, now let's get some damage in on the tower, and I escape, and that's it. So, I'm going to end this action clip now, but keep in mind that between team fights, when your ultimate's on cooldown, there's a lot of farming going on. Like, I'm going to the Ancients, if it's around 50 seconds mark, then I'm going to stack it. A lot of farming. Just make sure you don't get caught or ganked during that, and just go for team fights when your ultimate's up. So next clip. Alright, so here's the next action clip. I was, I believe, in our base-ish, just coming out, and my ultimate still wasn't up, and my allies are getting really rowdy on this Glacius. So when your Hellbringer's ultimate is down and you're like next to the enemy tower, you don't want to be this rowdy, because obviously people are going to TP and things are going to go bad. So Dr. TP just instantly kills Merodon, and I believe they pick off Behemoth too. A bit of an error here from Flint as he walked too close to try to save the Behemoth. Should have been further away. And Pharaoh ults him and catches both of them in his ultimate. So, fortunately a clutch play from Flint while he shoots down a Pharaoh wall with his images allows him to run closer to me. Obviously I TP as soon as I saw the action here, since I knew my team was going to get dived. So I TP'd, pre-TP'd. And now, after some poor puzzle box micro, or again, just use hotkeys and your micro will be better than this. I've recently incorporated it into my play and don't have a problem anymore. So I just hit the people that are diving my team. This Doctor was diving my team, so I chased him away. And now this Pharaoh is basically just a free kill, since his backup's gone. Their Doctor dies after getting chased away, and their Pharaoh also dies. So this fight actually turned out okay for us. It was 2 for 2 and they lost the Doctor, but the start was really bad. My team was like up here when I don't have ultimate, and they have a Pharaoh and Doctor, so that's no good. But we ended up okay, mostly because of Flint's clutch play where he killed the Pharaoh wall and walked out. But key points there, just same as usual. Make sure you are focusing the people that are hitting your team and not the ones running away. That's the key part. Only hit someone running away if you're sure you're going to kill him, and only then if you're sure you're going to kill him quickly. So that doctor, obviously, I cast it. All I did on him was like cast 2 spells, and then I went back to hitting Pharaoh, and those 2 spells proved to be enough to kill him. So that's how it should be done. Just make sure you're hitting the people who are battling your allies. Want to help your team out and not solo chase, especially with a team hero like Hellbringer. So now we're gonna backdoor this tower. Puzzle box is really strong for backdooring since it not only does a lot of damage, it also can tank for you. And I think our team decides to do something here since my ult's still up. Let's find out. Looks like we're not really doing anything, just farming. So I'm going to fast forward. Alright, so here's the next clip. Our Flint recently went to check the rune and he missed it. But they have a ward there, so they saw him. Now they're running through our woods. And they catch Flint. So proper play would be to immediately ultimate, but I wasn't quick enough to do that. So I ultimate. Remember, your ultimate clears trees, so if there's a fight going on the other side of the forest, be sure to take advantage. You can immediately get there. So not much to it. They're obviously both going for Flint, so I'm just gonna hit the closest guy. One thing I could have noted is that this gladiator has a shrunken head, so he's probably not the best target. Probably should have gone for Glacius or Pharaoh, who are like a little further, but don't have shrunken heads, so they're easier targets. Anyway, go for gladiator, do a lot of damage to him. Unfortunately, he shrunkens and escapes. So after he shrunkens, I know I'm not going to kill him. So instead of chasing him, I'm going to go for the person closest to me, which is Glacius. Not much else to say here. After killing Glacius, unfortunately, Pharaoh and Vindicator also fall on me, and my team, instead of TPing to help immediately, is busy chasing down this gladiator and getting solo killed by Doctor. So, generally, your team should be backing you up, especially if your main carry gets ganked. There should have been like 3 TPs here immediately, but there were none. So that's why this fight's turning out so badly for me. I believe they are going to actually kill this gladiator since his shrunken wears off. Yeah, this gladiator dies, but unfortunately I die too since there were so many people on me. Not much to be done about that. I helped as best I could, and just not enough team TPs. I guess I could have on the voice chat called for TP's bottom immediately. That is one thing I could have done, but not really much else to do there. Hellbringer is kind of an easy hero. Every fight, all you do is just cast your ultimate, summon your puzzle box if you have it, and just right-click the closest guy and life void in their general direction, and you're good. So that's pretty much what I did. And on to the next clip. Alright, so here's the next clip. Our Myrmidon gets caught bottom before my rocket spawned, and they have a lot of people here, and they scouted him with a ward of sight here and a rocket from Pharaoh. So they know he's there. Obviously he dies quickly, and I don't really want to TP since I'm so close, so I'm just going to walk there. Oftentimes if you're close to a fight, you should walk there instead of TPing, because that basically gives you a better angle. Since all your allies are TPing, they're all going to be clumped up, and if you're able to get a better angle than them, then it's likely that you'll be able to do better in the fight. So here we go. Here gets a nice ult off on our Behemoth and our Flint. I still don't have ultimate up, so I'm just waiting for it. After slowing Glacius, since he's the closest guy, and he's also going for my carry, which is Flint, I'm gonna go for him. So our Flint is in the back, and there's no one currently diving him, so I'm not too worried about helping him out. Right now I just need to worry about myself and hit the people close to me. So right now that's Gladiator. So I go for Gladiator. Notice how I back as soon as I see him. It's not really particularly for Hellbringer, but against Gladiator you need to watch for when he torrents or pitfalls, and back when he does that, so that's what I did. So I'm just going to wait for my rock to be up, or my Summon Malphus. Unfortunately their Doctor picks me off. One thing you need to be aware of, obviously, is enemy Doctor repulsors. And since they had a Doctor repulsor, I definitely should have stayed back, since Doctor can easily pick me off. Unfortunately, I didn't know they had a ward here, which they do have, I believe. Let's just double check. Oh, they don't have a ward here. Well, anyway, what? Didn't they have a ward here? I swear I saw a ward here earlier. Hold on. Yeah, they do have a ward here. And their ward dies in the middle of the fight. Okay, I see. Anyway, need to be careful of opposing Dr. Repulsors, since Dr. Repulsor is kind of a strong hero and can pick you off, so if you're low HP against a Dr. Repulsor, be sure to run. Not much more to that. One mistake I made here is that I was against the Vindicator, and I thought I would be able to cast both Death Boil and Life Void, but in fact I only got off Life Void since his aura kind of stopped me from casting any more spells. So I should have cast Life Void instead, since Life Void is much better when you're tanking, and it's not what I cast, so that was no good. Obviously we know what happens next. I get picked off by Doctor and die. So let's just watch the rest of the fight. Oh. Another thing to keep in mind is that in the mid-game you can buy out. And oftentimes it's extremely effective. Since I bought out before casting my ultimate, I died before casting my ultimate, buying out for it makes it, gets me a lot of value. So I get to cast my ultimate, basically. So I probably didn't have to ult this Dr. Repulsor. I should have saved my ult for other purposes, but whatever, we need to kill this Dr. Repulsor. So optimal play there would have been just to slow him and then cast these 3 spells instead of my ultimate, since that would be enough to kill him, and I could save my ultimate for whatever else is needed. Not much to say there. Just whenever you enter a situation, make sure if you're ulting, make sure it's necessary. Like if the situation involves multiple heroes, generally it's necessary. But if the situation is only involving one guy, like this one, then you don't need to ultimate. So I was just anxious to use my ultimate because I bought out, which was a bit of a mistake. So hopefully you will learn from my mistake. Just remember to ultimate, not to ultimate against just one guy. Try to save it for multiple people. The only exception to that is early levels, like if you're level 6, 7, or 8, then ultimating for a kill is worth it, but only ultimate if you're sure you're going to get it. Anyway, Malphus is good at farming creep waves, so I'm going to use him for that. And again, there's a lot of farming that goes on in the late game. With Hellbringer, you can't really gank, and you can't really like support. If you sit behind your team while they're farming, you can't really do anything, so you might as well just go farm. So that's a lot of farming between clips. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay, so here's the next clip. Our team gets caught kind of out of positions, and my ultimate summon Malphus still isn't up. Team loves getting caught out of position when Malphus isn't up. It's kind of annoying, because it was kind of annoying this game when it happened to me. Anyway, so when I see this, since I'm relatively close, again I want to walk there instead of TPing, since it gives me a better angle. And I also see this Glacius, so he's probably going to be an easy pick-off. Like if I had my ultimate up, I would be able to make an immediate impact on the fight, so I probably would teleport. But as it is, the impact on the fight I'm going to have is mostly from my puzzle blocks and my attack, so I want a good angle for that. So I'm watching them. Myrmidon's out of position, so he dies immediately. Fortunately, did he just Hellflower the wrong thing? No. Well, anyway, fortunately they don't go on me at all, so I have a lot of room to operate here. Basically, I'm just going to go for the closest guy, which is Vindicator. Obviously, there is a Doctor diving my Flint Beastwood, but there's not much I can do to get close to him, especially with 2 people next to me. So I'm going to hit 2 people close to me. Particularly Vindicator, since he does a lot of damage. So Vindicator goes down, and the next closest guy is Glacius, so I'm going to go for him. And then, after realizing that Glacius was going to escape, I turn around and change target to the people who are fighting my team. So basically, if someone's running away, don't get kited. You want to hit the people who are on the rest of your team, right? Just only fight people who are fighting. Don't fight people who are running away, is the key to team fights. So obviously this Pharaoh was running to try to take advantage of the fog here, which was why I ultimated. Also, there's 2 heroes here, so it's going to affect 2 people, which is why it's worth it. Anyway, after casting my 2 spells, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to die since he has Life Void on. So I just run past him, activate Power Source just in case. And after finishing Pharaoh, there are 2 people chasing my team, so I am going to go help them out. Basically just attack them. That's all there is to it. Yeah, Hellbringer is a pretty simple hero. You just cast your spells whenever they're up. It's pretty easy to hit them. You just like click on them, and right-click the right target. So there, the right target was Glacius until he started running away. When he started running away, I turned and changed target to, I believe it was Pharaoh. So make sure you're hitting someone who is like actively hitting your team. That way you don't have to burn any. That way it's like you don't have to chase them to finish them off, and you don't waste your time in the fight running around. You're spending it actually attacking, casting spells and stuff. Anyway, and to the next clip. Alright, so here's the next clip. We're pretty sure they're in Kongor, so before going to Kongor, I summon my puzzle box to counterward, and we actually catch one here. So I counterward this. Notice how I'm not too far up, I'm relatively close to the rest of my team. So when Gladiator tries to combo me, it's okay since my team can still help me out. We did notice a ward here, but since the fight's already started, I'm probably not going to spend too much time killing it. Right now, just waiting for Hellflower to end, and then I'm going to cast my ultimate. We're now waiting for final chapter, and I'm going to cast my ultimate. Notice how I move back while I'm not doing anything, since I can't cast my spells yet. I don't want to be getting too much trouble before I can be able to get them off. So now that the fight started, I can actually cast my spells. Final chapter's ending. Notice how I'm going for the guy that's attacking my Flint. It's Dr. Repulsor. So I start attacking him. Ideally, I'd be able to cast my spells on someone who's close, but no one's really that close, and this guy has a Shrunken on, so I can't really cast him. But I am going to hit him. What I should have done here is immediately sheeped him, but I wanted to cast my spells since Pharaoh's walls went down, which made him a target. Anyway, let's see what happens. So I sheep him or cast my spells on Pharaoh and immediately run to Doctor. What I should have done is, as soon as Doctor's Shrunken Head ended, I should have immediately sheeped him. I think this fight I just didn't notice that it was ending, so I couldn't sheep him on time, which is why it didn't go so well. Whenever an opponent has a Shrunken Head, I guess, just make sure you're watching it so you know when it's ending. That's all there is to really say about that. I guess another thing is the ultimate. Basically, I just cast it as soon as possible. There's not much to that. And also, I was hitting the Doctor who was diving the Flint. I just wasn't able to sheep him in time because I didn't notice his Shrunken ended. Anyway, so I'm hitting the Doctor. He's running away, so I'm not going to chase him anymore. The rest of my team's actually dead, so I'm not going to try to fight the other team. They have like 4 people alive. Should be just running away. Hopefully I successfully run away. Nope, not successful. So let's review why that fight went poorly. Mostly it was Doctor diving our Flint Beastwood, and I did not sheep him on time. That was really big. I believe. Let's see what happened to the rest of our team though. So at this point, they're mostly spawned. Oh, the problem was that Behemoth was dead. Behemoth wasn't there for the beginning of the fight, so that was the main problem with this fight. That's why it turned out so badly. Another reason, obviously, I didn't sheep the Doctor in time, which was no good. But mostly this fight was 4v5, so that's why it went poorly. Anyway, so after I died, these people spawn. I guess we can watch what happens, even though there's nothing too relevant to Hellbringer going on. I am microing my Malphus. Make sure you're microing your Malphus when you're dead. Getting in position to attack first is important, more important than attacking. Notice how when Behemoth made this block, I walked the Malphus around so I could cut Gladiator off from running through the hole that was in the block from the fissure. Make sure you do that with your minions. This is especially relevant when you have multiple minions, like when you have 2 puzzle box minions and the Malphus, you can actually get some sick blocks off. So moving between attacks is important, and positioning yourself when you can is also important. So that was pretty good. Flint bought out, and we killed Gladiator. Now they can't kill Kongor. Not a bad fight. And I even got a kill while I was dead with my Malphus. Anyway, on to the next clip. Alright, so here's the next clip. Our allies are pretty close, and again, Behemoth is dead. I don't know why he keeps getting picked off, probably because he's not very good. And they're trying to Kongor again, so we go in there. Myrmidon was really far up. This is extremely overextended to be up here by yourself when we know they're doing Kongor, especially for 4v5, but I'm going to try to help him out since he's not in a good position and I'm kind of tanky, so hopefully I can do something. Since I have a Vindicator, I can't chain my spells. I just cast my ultimate since it's the most important one. Now, I think I'm just moving back. Notice how I'm staying near the flint, waiting for a Doctor to jump on him, so I can attack Doctor. That's what I'm doing there. Obviously should be microing my puzzle box minions better here. So now that Doctor has jumped on him, again that was a little bit of a late sheep stick. I should have had my sheep stick clicking on this area, but I didn't. Fortunately he's out of mana, and with the right click after he's shrunken headed, he wasn't able to finish Flint Beastwood. So he will escape, Flint Beastwood will escape, and this regen spawns. I don't know why I'm not grabbing this regen. Oh, I lifted for Puppet Master. Okay, that makes more sense. Here what I'm doing is I'm using the neutrals to heal. So Hellbringer actually is a really cool combo with Death Boil and Life Void. Not only does your Death Boil do more damage, but if you cast it and your Death Boil and Life Void all hit for max value, like your Death Boil hits all 4 targets. There's actually 4 targets for your Life Void, for your Death Boil, and your Life Void hits all 4 of those targets, you're going to heal quite a bit. So since I don't really have time to run to the fountain since Kongor's up, instead I'm going to run to this creep camp to heal, which is what I did. And I left the regeneration there for our Puppet Master. I don't know why I didn't grab it. Anyway, that's what I was doing there. So the regen's still here. Since Puppet didn't grab it, I'm going to grab it. And I believe there's going to be a Kongor fight quite shortly. Since their Doctor just went to heal, he'll be back soon. And now we're just waiting for us to show up before we do Kongor. Kongor is the most important thing in the mid to late game. Oftentimes teams that get the token are going to win the next fight. So winning a Kongor basically means winning for the rest of the game. So that's why we're making such a big deal out of it. And why we're sitting around Kongor not letting them do it. I wonder if anything's actually going to happen soon, since it's been quite a while since anyone actually shows up. I'm going to fast forward until something does happen. Alright, so a good deal later, my Malphite is up. I use my puzzle box to counterward. This is actually a Hellbringer relevant tip. Since Hellbringer goes puzzle box a lot, it's important that you know when playing Hellbringer that puzzle box is extremely useful for counterwarding. Make sure you do that. So we actually countered a couple wards here. And now we see that they're overextending in this area, so we go for them. Obviously there are a lot of trees here, and there's a lot of enemy heroes here, so I'm going to ultimate to take advantage of that. Again, notice I'm hitting the person that's hitting my carry. So this Pharaoh is attacking my Flint Beastwood, so I don't like that. I'm going to attack him. What you gotta do is what you gotta do. Also, hopefully I'm going to sheep this Doctor Repulsor quickly before he activates Shrunken Head. Looks like I'm not going to. So I finish off Pharaoh, and then 2 people are diving my Flint, so I'm going to right click them while their Shrunkens are active, but I'm going to save my sheep stick for the Doctor Repulsor since it's so much better against him. They are both shrunken, obviously. However, my sheep stick on the Doctor is probably going to result in his death. We will see. Yeah, so I sheep Doctor goes down. So notice the reason I'm staying alive mostly in these fights is because I used Life Void at the beginning. Make sure you Life Void them. Life Void whoever you're stunning with Malphite since your team's going to be going on them, and that means that basically you're going to live through the fight since you're healing a lot from that. So now our team decides to go Kongor. This doesn't seem like the best idea to me in the dark since we still have 2 people up, but one thing that is going well for us is that it's shaking again. Anyway, Hellbringer is extremely adept at killing Kongor since he with a team, since Life Void basically means that you're going to heal a lot of damage while killing Kongor, and you can even tank when it's a lot against when most of your team is there, since Life Void just gives you enough tanking to basically still be at full health even though you're tanking Kongor. So here we're hitting Kongor. Since we recognize that we are not going to be able to finish Kongor in time, we decide to stop killing Kongor and start going for the Doctor Repulsor. Not much to that. So we go for Doctor, and then after Doctor we go for the next closest guy, which is Gladiator. Not much to it really. With Hellbringer, you just right click the closest guy and cast your spells when they're up. So that's that. I get the Kongor kill, our Flint gets the token, and that's pretty much game. I feel like even though I made quite a few errors this game, I didn't micro my units very well, and I guess there's a couple misplays that I pointed out earlier. Hellbringer is still an extremely strong hero, so I've actually got the most kills on my team, quite a few assists, 16, 7, and 14, and not that many deaths. So Hellbringer is a really strong hero that you should be able to, at least, if not get a strong KDR, then at least help your team a lot with. This game I happen to do extremely well because I won bottom lane. Oftentimes you won't win your lane that badly, and you'll just be a really strong team hero, not like completely carrying. But that is okay. So I believe we actually get the racks here, and that's pretty much game. I'm not gonna show you guys the ending fight since this is an instructional video about Hellbringer, not a storyline about Hellbringer. So once again, this is Yoda from Team Evil Geniuses bringing you this video with Nerdstomper.com. This is the second video in a two-part series on Hellbringer. Be sure to check out the first video. Also check out the forums for a general guide on Hellbringer and my item recommendations, guild build recommendations, and also if you have any questions or comments, I will be happy to answer them there. Thanks for watching.